The MSC Opera cruise ship was about to dock at the passenger terminal in Venice when it experienced technical problems. Two tugboats guiding the cruise ship in Venice tried to stop it, but were unable to prevent a collision due to a broken tow rope. As a result, the vessel crashed into a pier and damaged a moored pleasure craft. The boat ended up against the rocks because of the strong Sirocco wind that throughout the day had blown over Sicily and is half sunk, bow first. Fortunately, no injuries were reported, either among the passengers or among the crew members. In all, there were 117 passengers and 6 crew members on board. Scenes of panic were recorded. The passengers were disembarked thanks to lifeboats and boats made available by the islanders.
Wow, that was nice, man. That was nice, man. Oh shit.
The Ocean X Sanderling pushed to St. John's, NL from Halifax in a very bad winter storm. The vessel pushed at 11-12 knots, while other vessels in the area slowed to a safe 3-4 knots for safety and to prevent any damages.
Oh man. Huh? Oh shit, man. It's not good, huh?
Look out! Look out! Whoa, shit! Let down! God damn it! پشتش هم اصلا کنترل نداره.
collision of an Iranian oil tanker and a dry cargo ship, Marco, in the harbor.
تازه اومدن میخوان چیز بندازن.
A fire broke out on the cargo ship at night. As a result, all the cars were destroyed. West Navigator meets Hurricane Barrett on Ormenlange outside Kristiansund. The South Korean merchant ship Stellar Banner was sunk off the coast of the Brazilian state of Maranhão after running aground and sustaining serious damage. The initial inspection showed that the cargo ship had a 25-meter-long hole. The decision to sink the vessel was made after a thorough assessment of its condition. container ship UASC Medina rammed ship Thompson Spirit in Slovenian port. An Icelandic air rescue team is at work rescuing the crew of a cargo ship, Skalva, caught in a storm. Drone footage showed the Solong and the Stena Immaculate floating in the North Sea after their collision. The Stena Immaculate was carrying 220,000 barrels of jet fuel for the U.S. Air Force when it was struck while stationary by the German-owned Solong on Monday morning. While sailing between Warnemünde and Le Havre, a guest was taken ill and required medical treatment on land. The helicopter was too large to fit on the helipad and was required to hover while flying sideways, as the ship was still traveling at 18 knots. Incredible bit of flying. Cruise ship navigates through a storm in the Mediterranean Sea. A Chinese Navy warship collided with its own Coast Guard vessel while chasing a Philippine patrol boat in the South China Sea. This rare and dramatic incident has attracted the attention of the world community. A large loaded cargo ship sails in the Pacific Ocean through a 10-point Beaufort storm.
बड़ा वाला आ रहा है अभी। Very good.
Four people were rescued by the EMQ rescue helicopter after their boat capsized 40 nautical miles off the Townsville coast at John Brewer Reef. The naming ceremony of the new cable-laying vessel of the Italian Prysmian Group took place in Finland. The 171M long vessel was named Prysmian Mona Lisa. The vessel is equipped with two carousels for underwater cables weighing 7,000 and 10,000 tons each, and with a hybrid battery system and diesel generators. Prysmian Mona Lisa will be able to lay an underwater cable at a depth of 3,000 meters. The cargo ship sinks to the bottom. A supply ship navigates through a powerful storm in the Arctic Ocean.
Hear it screaming. Oh, it's gonna go belly up. Oh no, it might come back.
The Greek cargo ship Rena ran aground off the coast of New Zealand during a storm. Environmentalists are afraid of a fuel leak, as the fuel has not been pumped out of the holds, leaving about 100 tons of fuel oil.
Ja.
High seas in the middle of Atlantic Ocean in winter season. 12. Beaufort wind speed. Hurricane. Continuous rolling pitching. Vessel tried to proceed towards Canada with half a head, but 0 GPS speed, only drifting southerly. The Taimyr is a Russian nuclear icebreaker designed to guide ships to the mouths of Siberian rivers. The installation develops a capacity of 50,000 HP and allows the icebreaker to go through ice 2 meters thick. The icebreaker can operate at temperatures up to 50 degrees Celsius. On board the ship MS Expedition, Force 12 on the Beaufort scale, from the Antarctic Peninsula to South America. Naval experiment in the Pacific Ocean. An American warship or platform is deliberately sunk and spills into the water in an upright position in order to switch between horizontal and vertical orientations. The cargo ship Western lost power during a storm due to engine failure. A rescue team was called to the site to evacuate the ship to the port. Smith Salvage successfully removed the wreck of the TS Taipei offshore Xiamen in the north of Taiwan. The container ship ran aground after an engine failure, broke in two, and sank. For this complex project, Smith Salvage deployed its 1,000-ton floating sheer leg Cyclone and the semi-submersible pontoon Giant 6. A 160-meter-long cargo ship was caught in a devastating storm near the Cape of Good Hope. The ship's roll reaches 32 degrees at a critical 40. Rescue of injured man from MSC Opera cruise ship. During a cruise ship trip, a passenger suffered a heart attack. A U.S. Marine Boeing Vertol CH-46 Sea Knight came to help. The Fedra engines failed to start, and efforts to secure new lines from 3 large tugs failed. It was pinned up against the cliffs below the Europa Point lighthouse. 4 of the ship's crew were airlifted to safety by the gallant efforts of the Spanish Coast Guard.
That probably did it. I tried to have a nice relaxing pee and it all got blown away.
Yeah.
Oh, let's calm down a bit.
Hard to imagine the violence of the storm.
Yeah.
It's still very stormy.
The 195-meter-long oil tanker was caught in a 12-point storm. The wind speed reaches 50 meters per second. The Ulstein designed ultra-long-distance towing vessels, ALP Keeper and ALP Sweeper of ALP Maritime's Future Class, towed an FPSO from Singapore to Angola. The cargo ship Grand America sank 330 kilometers west of La Rochelle after a fire. There were 2,200 tons of fuel oil on board in the cargo compartments. The aftermath of a major hurricane in the Indian Ocean. Part of the cargo on the ship was lost.
We stopped.
A severe storm caught a cargo ship in the Pacific Ocean. Huge waves are rolling on the deck.
Нихуя себе, блядь. Вот это въебало, блядь. Не знаю, блядь. Хорошо, что не вышли, блядь.
The Japanese-flagged container ship One Apus lost 1,916 cargo containers after it was caught up in a violent storm in the Pacific on November 30th, 2020. The vessel arrived on December 8th in the Japanese port of Kobe, where ship owners and managers said a full safety inspection would be carried out. The incident is described as the second biggest cargo loss in shipping history.
So we're on the anthem of the seas, and this is what we're doing right now. Got an awesome storm going on, rocking this massive boat, about 100+ mile-an-hour winds, as you can see.
A South Korean cargo ship carrying approximately 4,000 vehicles bound for the Middle East has listed heavily off the coast of the southern U.S. state of Georgia. The U.S. Coast Guard said the Golden Ray had a pilot and 23 crew members on board when it capsized in St. Simon's Sound. A giant cargo ship transports timber during a storm. These waves are quite powerful and high. At such moments, the full force of nature is really felt. Huge waves hit Stina, ferry from Holyhead to Dublin. Video taken on the Queen Elizabeth in very rough seas during her maiden transatlantic crossing in January 2011. October 18th, 2014. Ebola scare on board. U.S. Coast Guard picking up blood sample from the Carnival Magic en route back to Galveston. Aurora Australis in a fully developed force 9 gale on her way to Antarctica. Wind 40-45 knots. Significant wave height 9 meters, but the most impressive wave is the dumping 14-meter breaker just ahead of the ship.
If I spin round into here, you get some idea of just the seas we're up against. Here, I've got to brace myself. This is I believe someone said a force 7 with winds gusting 50 knots and a swell of 30 feet or more. But I've never been in anything like this, and it's freaky the way everything just spins around. All around we're getting buffeted. And just look at the size of some of these seas. Oh my god, this is just getting a little bit scary now rather than just plain exhilarating. The guys are still trying to do their thing in the restaurant. This is the best view. The outer decks, as you can see by the notice earlier, they're obviously completely closed. You've got to be really silly to go out in this. But let's just carry on looking at a Force 7 gale in the Drake Passage. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is the Drake Passage. It takes you between Antarctica and South America. We're heading back now. We had a relatively quiet passage coming over, but now it's payback time.
On the morning of 16th April 2014, the ferry MV Sewol sank while en route from Incheon towards Jeju City in South Korea. The 6,125-ton vessel sent a distress signal from about 2.7 kilometers north of Byongpungdo at 0858 KST. A large fishing vessel flying the flag of the Netherlands confidently passes the waves in a storm. Its load capacity is 5,162 tons.
A container ship caught in a storm washed ashore.
In Sri Lanka, the MV Express Pearl, carrying 1,186 containers, including 25 tons of nitric acid, was anchored off the coast of the port city of Negombo when a fire broke out after an explosion. Burning containers filled with chemicals fell into the sea from the deck of the ship as emergency crews extinguished the fire. Sinking a boat in order to create an artificial reef around a sunken vessel. The 3,400-ton vessel sails through a storm in the North Sea. What to do with the wreckage of the Wakasio? Is this the Japanese merchant ship that ran aground and then split in half, dumping more than 100 tons of hydrocarbons into the turquoise waters off Mauritius? Japan and France have announced that they have sent experts to the government of Mauritius. An oil tanker was caught in a storm off the coast of Wales, which also affected the Bay of Biscay. Cargo ship Dolly collided with a highway bridge in the USA. After the collapse of a more than 2-kilometer-long automobile bridge in Baltimore, rescuers are looking for construction workers who were repairing potholes on the bridge. A huge tanker goes underwater into the sea. The crew of a Dutch cargo ship was rescued during a storm off the coast of Norway. The ship was in danger of sinking and causing an oil spill. The footage shows some of the 12 crew members jumping into the ocean, after which they were rescued by a helicopter. The rest were lifted straight from the deck. All of them were taken to a safe place.